Hello, my name is Last Down of Mystery Man, and this is my third ever Bold and the Beautiful review for the episode that aired on Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. The 9,000th episode of Bold and the Beautiful. That is a lot of episodes. That is 9,000 episodes. Wow. Talk about a milestone, honestly. I mean, wow, 9,000 episodes. I started watching this program when it had about 6,000 episodes in either September, October, or November of 2011. I'm not entirely sure when it was, but I know it was around that time. But anyways, getting into this episode, there wasn't much to review from the past two episodes I reviewed, because that's the current storyline. This episode was more so a celebration. This episode didn't have none of the whole, what's going to happen between Hope and Thomas, this is gonna be my own mention of that during this episode review, is that hopefully nothing happens there, but I'm gonna stop with that. I'm gonna stop right there. So, getting into this episode, it was a celebration of the 9,000th episode. 9,000th episode. I'm sorry, 9,000th episode of Bold and Beautiful. And it was also Steffy's birthday, which I don't think they have ever mentioned before until this particular episode ever. But anyways, happy birthday to Steffy. And I think it's also the actress's birthday in real life too. Jacqueline something Wood. I don't know. I can never say her full name. I think it was her birthday today or yesterday. So happy birthday to the actress who I think is a very great actress. My opinions of her character, that differs depending on what time period you ask me, but for the most part, Steffy is okay, I guess. Anyways, getting into this episode, started with Widge and a cake, which actually looked like a very nice cake, honestly. Honestly, it looked like a very nice cake. Honestly, it was a nice cake. I mean, that might be a little getting off the top, but it was a really nice looking cake, honestly. Nice cake. He was setting up, I guess, a surprise birthday celebration party event. Just hey, happy birthday! I really don't know what to call it, with a cake and candles and candles. We didn't have enough candles for how old she actually is, though. I don't even look at her as 6. I'm like, she's not 6, but okay. So then they show a card, and this card, I don't want to. Sounds like I was trying to say that it wasn't nice or pretty, or nice or interesting, but it was just a card that had a bunch of cast photos. Because most of the photo was just of the cast, not of the show. Up until they showed Steffi's grandmother, Stephanie Forrester, who the actress that played her, decided to just retire, so they killed the character off in 2012. I was a big Stephanie fan. I like Stephanie Forrester. Big fan of hers. I mean, I only got to see her for like a year and a half, but that year and a half, I thought she was great. So they showed that video, and then they showed some other stuff, and then she leaves, and Widge is all sad about the fact that his daughter doesn't want to spend her birthday with him, which I guess is a thing that people feel once they get up to a certain age. But my whole philosophy on my birthday is this, I like to spend it with people, I like to spend it with my whole family. And this might sound a little mean or a little weird, but I like to spend it with my whole family because we always go out to dinner and they give me stuff on my birthday, and I like stuff, I like stuff, I like stuff, and plus it's the one day a year where I can talk about myself and nobody can get mad at me. You know what I mean? Nobody can get mad at me for talking about myself, because that's what I do on my birthday. But apparently, according to Widge and Taylor, Steffi was going to be with Finn. Which, when we get into the interesting part of this review, we'll bring that back up. But, Taylor comes in at some point and they talking about the daughter, and Widge is like, well, our daughter doesn't want to spend her birthday with me. I'm sad about it. And Taylor's like, well, she wants to spend it, I guess, with her husband, I guess, which I guess that makes sense, I guess. I don't know. Okay. I mean, I've never been in a relationship, so I can't tell you what I would do in that situation, because I've never dated any woman in my entire life. But did we get to a part of this episode that might make me come out as a bit of a contradictory to myself, or even a somewhat of a hypocrite, because as many of you know, if you've seen any YouTube comment I have made, or Albert's live stream, or if you see my first two videos, I'm a big fan of Hope and Liam. And well, I can't say that I'm not, but I've also been watching this show for 12 years, so I've seen a lot. So my opinion has, different over the years. And my opinion when I first started watching was I was a big Hope and Liam fan in 2011 to 2013. And then in 2013, I was a huge Liam and Steffy fan when they was going to have their kid, when they were going to have their first son, Aspen Ford to Spencer. But sadly, that boy died by a motorcycle. Steffi drove, which I'm just gonna end it there before I get into something else. But that's what happened. Then that kid died, and then Steffi left for Paris for a year, which is weird for so many reasons that I do not like to get into right now. But other than that, that's that. And then again, from when she came back in 2015 to 2017, when she slept with Bill, I was a big supporter of Liam and Steffy. Yes, I was. But then she slept with Bill, and that kind of ended my fandom of them two together. That was kind of the last gaps for them as a couple, in my opinion. Well, at least in my opinion. I know there's a lot of people who still want them to be together, but I just can't see it now. I just can't. After everything that has happened on this show, I just can't. I just don't even know how it would happen at this point. Because at this point, Brad Bell has clearly shown that he prefers Hope and Liam to Liam and Steffy. And I think he actually said it in an interview at some point, like 2018 at some point. I think he actually said it in an interview. I could be wrong, but I remember hearing somewhere. I remember hearing on one of the YouTube comments that Brad Bell actually came out and said that. But anyways, getting into this episode, Liam comes over to talk to Steffi, and I was first thinking, what are they doing here? They're not gonna do a cheating scandal, are they? They're not gonna do that, are they? Oh no, they did it. Instead, they just talked about their great love that they shared. I was thinking to myself, I thought this was gonna be about the show as a whole. This is all about Steffi and Liam, apparently. Which more so was just a trip down memory lane for me, because I was like, yeah, I saw all this happen. I saw all this. Well, yeah, all of it, Other than that, they were just talking about their life together and how much they loved each other and how much they meant to each other at a certain point in their life. They both talked about the fact that at a certain point in their life, they thought their love was going to last forever. Which I still don't understand how that's possible, since we all die at some point in life. But I don't know how that was, because since we all die at some point in life. But I've never really understood that quote so much. When the people on the show says it, because even in the show, people do die. Granted, if you die in the soap opera, it's more so that you're not dead. It's more so that you're dead for now. But I think I'm getting off topic, sorry. But they're talking, and my whole thoughts process through all of this is like, are they really going to try to put these two back together? Really, mate? I don't see it. And they're talking, although I did not understand that one thing, they were talking about a concert where Steffi jumped out in front so they could get first. I mean, maybe someone else heard of it, but I've never seen that. So I've never seen that episode, so unless it's an episode I skipped or something, I don't remember that ever happening, so I guess maybe it's something new that happened, or it's one of the many, many things I guess happens off screen on this soap opera. Because it is only 19 minutes long, something tell me a lot of stuff happens off screen. But they're talking about their life, the great love they shared, And then we get a montage. And well, for me to sit here and tell anybody on the internet, or on YouTube, that I was not that I did not think back to when I was a fan of Steffi and Liam, and I was so happy. No, I cannot sit and tell you I did not smile when I saw the flashbacks. I did. I loved nearly each one of them. I loved the one from Aspen. Loved the one from Aspen when Hope collides into Steffi while they're skiing. Yes, that actually happened. And then Liam and Steffi, almost kissed there, that was nice to see. That's also the oldest one they showed. This is the oldest clip they showed from that. It's like, I think it was like May of 2012 or something. That's the oldest clip they showed. That was an interesting choice there, but other than then they showed the second wedding, the one where she drove up on a motorcycle, which honestly is my favorite Liam and Steffy wedding. Honestly, because that is just badass. I remember when I saw that when I was 10. I thought to myself, that is the coolest thing I have ever seen in my life. I thought that was the coolest thing I have ever saw in my life. I don't know why. I just thought that was the coolest thing I've ever saw. And plus, I love that Carter was just in the background, like, yeah, I'm here too. Because, man, Carter has been on this show for 10 years. And I like Carter. Don't get me wrong. I like Carter. Wish they would do something more with him. But anyway, back to the celebration of the 9,000th episode and the celebration of Liam and Steffy. So they're still talking, and they're still showing some more montages of the time he went to on a beach after he had amnesia. Yes, that actually happened. Liam at some point on this program in like mid-2016 had amnesia. And it is still probably only the fourth weirdest storyline that this show has ever done. So I really did enjoy that montage of Liam and Steffy, because it really was like a trip down memory lane for me too, because I actually loved these two together during that time. Like, you could not find a bigger Liam and Steffy fan in 2016 than me. If I had a review channel back then in 2016, you could not find a bigger supporter of them. It also kind of had to do with the fact that Hope wasn't on the show during that time. But I've always held the point that even if Hope was on the show, there was no way she was taking Liam from Steffy in 2016 or 2017. No way. I don't even think Brad Bell was going to write it that way. There's no way. I couldn't see it. Because I truly, at that time, honestly thought Liam and Steffy was meant to be. Do I still believe that? No. But at the time, I did. But they're still talking. They finished the montage. I just think Scott was singing, which is one of the couple times you get to sing. If it is him, I think it is him. If it is Scott, he's an amazing singer. Scott, the guy that plays Liam, he's an amazing singer. I know he's sung a couple of times on this show, so he's an amazing singer. I would just like to point that out. So then they get done with the montage, and well, here comes the part that I think a lot of Steffy and Liam fans are probably going to possibly read too much into, but they was talking and was saying that how him and Steffy had this, great love at one point, how their love was so real and honest and so real and great together, That was kind of nice. And then they hugged, and they both looked very happy. Yeah, I don't know if people are gonna read too much into that. I mean, or if people are gonna say maybe they're going to put Liam and Steffy back together at some point. I can't see it at this point. I can't, because I just can't at this point. I think that ship sailed a long time ago, and by a long time ago I mean 2017 when she slept with Bill. At the end of 2017 when she slept with Bill. I kind of botched that for me, but maybe. Who knows? If you was to ask me in 2016, do you think they're ever going to bring Hope back? I would have told you no way. And then we all know what happened 2 years later. So you never know. I'm gonna stick to that. You never know. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe someday. I don't see it happening at any point on this show, but you never know. Maybe someday. And didn't we have the weirdest transition I think I've ever seen in this show? Because we cut back to Taylor and Widge talking, and I'm just annoyed by I'm just more and more annoyed by the woman that played Taylor every day. Is the woman that played Taylor now a comedian in real life or something? Because if so, she doesn't seem like a very good comedian. Because she seemed like a woman who was a comedian. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what she comes off as sometimes. Not a very good comedian, but she comes off as a comedian to me at some points. Maybe that's what it is. They're talking about, Steffy and how proud they are of their daughter. Luckily, we got no montages of them with Steffy, though, because you can't really show those montages because those are played by completely different people. Rob Moss and Hunter Teal, whatever the other woman that played Taylor was. I can never say her last name. Those are played by Rob Moss and Hunter something T's last name I can't pronounce. Sorry. And then we jump cut to apparently Finn at some point set up an entire romantic dinner. And candles and everything. I guess why Steffy was changing or something, which good lord, wow, good man, Finn. Man, if this whole doctor thing fails, what Finn's new job should be? Setting up parties. Because man, he can set up stuff fast. Man. And he did this in like one transition. I was like, wow. My whole thought process was, how did you do this fast? And then it gets very weird, because then we jump cut to Steffi talking about how much she loves Finn. Like, okay, I guess that makes sense, but it's kind of weird that Brad Bell decided to, hey, let me start half of this episode with everyone remembering Liam and Steffi together, And it would end it with Finn. Here comes Finn. Which kind of paints Finn as like the thing, like if Finn wasn't here or something, would Steffi's be going after Liam or something? Which I don't even want to get into that, because I like Finn. Do I like him with Steffi? 50-50 on that, but I'm not. I don't want to say something like that in this video. I'll say that for another video. But Finn and Steffi are talking about the time that Finn came back to her from the dead, literally. And last year he came back from her in the dead, which is actually a bunch of episodes I missed because from like June of 2021 to about April to May of 2022, I just graduated high school, so I didn't have a lot of time to focus on soap opera because my whole brain was like, oh my god, I just graduated, yes. And then I woke up and realized, great, I'm unemployed. I still live at home. I'm unemployed. I still live at home. And I was trying to find some type of job, but I could never find one. And then I went on vacation. And then some other stuff happened. And then at the beginning of 2020,